Please rise and remove cover while the SDSU Army ROTC Color Guard, consisting of Cadet Becker, Cadet Brulland, Cadet Deckenecker, and Cadet Nafe, present our flags as Ali Westra, a member of the Beersford FFA chapter, sings our national anthem.
Please join me in singing our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet
FFA members, advisors, and guests, get on your feet and get excited for our 2024-2025 State Officer Team! Your State Vice President from the Millbank FFA chapter, Raul Berrones Petroza! FFA chapter, Maya Howard!
The convention hall will come to order. We are now holding the first session of the 97th South Dakota FFA State Convention. Mr. Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they're at their stations, and report back to you, Madam President. The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there.
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements, just as Washington kept his farm accounts carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there.
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I am asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripen with wisdom. Mr. Vice President, why...
The rising sun is the token of a new era in agriculture. If we will follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Madam President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
There are 2,800 members and guests present, Madam President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare the first session of the 97th South Dakota FFA State Convention duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented.
Our first two chairs are quite the dynamic duo. One prefers a cold Red Bull, while the other swears by a hot chai latte. Clearly, they're keeping it classy. Together, they bring not only drinks, but a fine dose of attitude. Whether they're making decisions or just making us laugh, these two know how to keep us entertained. And when it comes to music, they couldn't be any more different. One's always got country playing, while the other, well, you never really know what you're going to get. But if there's one thing they can agree on, it's their healthy shopping addiction. Because who doesn't love a good haul? South Dakota FFA, join me in welcoming to the stage our chairs for the very first session of the 97th South Dakota FFA State Convention, our State President, Maya Howard, and State Secretary, Ethan Hendricks.
Hey Siri, remind me tonight at 7 p.m. to attend session 1 of the 97th South Dakota FFA State Convention.
Ethan, what are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm setting a reminder on my phone for State Convention.
You're a little late for that one, bud.
Is that why all these people are here right now?
Well, yeah. Why else would they be here?
I don't know, I'm just happy to be here.
Well, since you're so behind, I'll catch you up to speed. In this session, we will be recognizing our South Dakota FFA Family of the Year, Star Greenhands, and Star Partners.
Oh yeah, and aren't we hearing a retiring address from our state treasurer, Bailey Weeger, and a keynote from Melvin Adams?
Now you remember. And we will be meeting our 2025-2026 state officer candidates.
Hey Siri, remind me later to thank Maya for getting me back up to speed.
Ethan,
Yeah?
are you ready now?
Of course, let's get going.
The South Dakota FFA Foundation helps our members never settle during their time in FFA. In 2024 alone, they donated over $700,000. Please help me in welcoming the South Dakota FFA Foundation Board to the stage.
Established in 1973, the foundation is governed by a volunteer board of agriculture industry leaders and key agriculture education instructors from each of the 8 South Dakota FFA districts, along with 2 past state FFA officers and state staff. These individuals are the engine behind all of momentum, fulfilling our goals and making dreams into reality. Please help me in recognizing the South Dakota FFA Foundation board members for their service. The South Dakota FFA Foundation consists of Executive Director, Jerry Anide, Executive Assistant, Gretchen Sharp, South Dakota FFA Executive Secretary, Wyatt DeYoung, FFA Advisor, Mercedes Snedeker, and a volunteer board of Board President, Sandy Osterday, McFleeg Incorporated, Bowdle, District 1, Stephen Zemlicka, Agtegra, Anna Marie Sachs, Langford High School. District 2, John Verhelst, Corteva. Dan Tonak, Willow Lake High School. District 3, Shad and Rebecca Christman, Ballard Spar LLP and Homemaker. Melinda Penner, Freeman High School. District 4, Kevin Blagg, First Dakota National Bank. Susan Raudebush, Ethan High School. District 5, Charlie Bachman, Meade County FSA Office. Christy Ryan, Bison High School. District 6, Matt Leisinger, Farmer. Shane Gross, Hitchcock Tulare High School. District 7, Jason Long, First Bank and Trust. Alicia Kintop, Garrettson High School. District 8, Kent Buchholz, Kennedy Implement. Reed Johnson, Phillip High School. Past state officers, Megan Sanders and Dustin Kolb. Please help me in recognizing the people who support South Dakota FFA behind the scenes.
You'll likely hear about the South Dakota FFA Foundation, who connect us to our partners and sponsors throughout our state convention. The South Dakota FFA Foundation helps make this event possible. But that's not all we do. Tonight, we want to highlight how we support each and every member of the South Dakota FFA, helping you achieve your individual success. The success of the South Dakota FFA and its members is only possible because of the support from others. The South Dakota FFA Foundation is a key part of that, providing funds for our events, as well as linking us to the ag industry and promoting all our members do.
One of my favorite programs through the foundation is the South Dakota FFA Blue Jackets Bright Futures program. The program allows FFA members the chance to earn a jacket through an application and selection process. Through this, the foundation works hard to connect the donors and supporters from across our state to help provide a jacket to nearly all members that apply. This year, the South Dakota FFA Foundation provided 453 blue jackets to FFA members across the state.
Without the assistance of the South Dakota FFA Foundation, I would not have reached my full potential through FFA. Due to the funding they provide, I was able to attend leadership retreats, state and national conventions, district officer training, and receive scholarships to a higher education. Through my time as a member, I had the opportunity to grow personally and professionally through lots of South Dakota FFA activities that were all supported heavily by the South Dakota FFA Foundation. I saw this impact not only on myself, but so many others through my time as a state officer. I now support the foundation by serving on the foundation board as a past state officer representative.
Did you know the South Dakota FFA Foundation has endowments that will fund different FFA activities as long as the organization exists? The staff and board members work to allow FFA to grow and change while providing continuous support. The impacts the South Dakota FFA Foundation has had on each of us, even if we haven't won an award or prize, is huge. Through the programming it funds for various things. They have raised $230,000 for the Leadership and Program Management Endowment in the last 3 years, ensuring the South Dakota FFA Association can fund an additional staff person.
The South Dakota FFA supports all FFA members across the state of South Dakota. Your donation, no matter the amount, goes to promoting leadership, career success, and the continuation of agricultural education to our members. At this time, I would like to welcome the South Dakota Foundation Board President, Sandy Osterday, to the stage.
Through the work of the South Dakota FFA Foundation, you as members have participated in programs and conferences and received scholarship awards. This past year, the South Dakota FFA Foundation raised $704,862.23. Did you know the foundation made today's Meals of Hope event and the State Degree Banquet and tomorrow's Career Carnival, the workshops, scholarships, and meal events possible? From additional programs and premiums at the State Fair, summer leadership retreats, leadership and career development events, scholarships, and this convention, and travel scholarships to teams that win this weekend and go on to nationals, students are the beneficiary of our efforts. This evening, the South Dakota FFA Foundation wishes to present South Dakota Agriculture Education with a check for $700,862.23.
Sandy, thank you for all that you and the South Dakota FFA Foundation Board does to support the FFA. We appreciate all of the time and effort you put in to make everything possible. Please help me in thanking Board President Sandy Osterday and all of the South Dakota FFA Foundation. The purpose of this award is to recognize a South Dakota family that never settles in FFA and agriculture on local and state levels. Through continual acts of selfless service, this family sets an example that we should all aspire to follow. Mr. Secretary, will you please introduce the recipients of the 2025 FFA Family of the Year?
The 2025 South Dakota FFA Family of the Year is the Mary and late Myron Williams family. The Family of the Year award honors a family's long-term involvement in the South Dakota FFA and agriculture education programs. The Williams family includes Mary and the late Myron Williams, their children and spouses, and grandchildren, son Marty and wife Rhonda, their children, JC, Strand, Cooper Joe, Laketon, and Madison, son Monty and wife Bobby and their children, Pacey, Lincoln, Pine, and Ridley, and daughter Misty Williams and Jeff Maddox and their children, Hayden and Brindley. Mary and the late Myron Williams were actively involved in the FFA for over 50 years, and all three of their children, Marty, Monty, and Misty, were officers at the local and district level. Their daughter Misty also served as the 1994-95 South Dakota State FFA Secretary. The family is now 3 generations strong in the FFA organization. Myron attended Wall High School, but since an FFA program had yet to be established, he was unable to be a member. He later attended South Dakota State University and graduated with a degree in animal science business. During the time Mary grew up, women had not yet actively been participating in FFA, but her brother served as a state officer from 1968 to 1969, and her father was awarded an honorary state degree. Mary recognized what an important program FFA was and supported the FFA program in Wall, where her children were active members. Mary had served as a judge at the local, regional, and state level for CDE contests whenever needed, and served as a member of the Elevate Rapid City Ag Committee. Her husband Myron was also a strong leader in multiple organizations, including his work as Pennington Farm Bureau Director and agriculture advocate, with travels taking him as far as Washington, D.C. to spread the message. Together, the couple was actively involved in South Dakota Farm Bureau and the South Dakota Cattlemen's Association. In 1992 and 1994, Myron and Mary, respectively, were awarded the honorary Chapter FFA degree in Wall. 3 years later, they were given the honorary state FFA degree together in recognition for their continued support of statewide FFA, while their daughter was a state FFA officer. Danny Herring, who previously served as a Wall FFA advisor, nominated the family for state-level recognition because of their continued support for not only their local chapter, but all of District 5. Their children, Marty, Monty, and Misty, all received state FFA degrees as high school seniors in 1992, 94, and 96. Monty and Marty's supervised agricultural experiences are still in operation today, as they are the current owners of the Williams Ranch. Mary is grateful all her children continue to be involved in the agriculture industry because it was a long-time goal for her and her husband. Even their spouses had been involved with FFA. Monty's wife, Bobby, was a member of the Woonsocket FFA chapter and received her state degree and was a star Greenhand for her chapter. Marty's wife, Rhonda, was a member and officer in Wall and was active while in high school. These families started a 3rd generation of FFA members, including Marty and Rhonda's children, Laketon, Cooper, and JC, who are former Wall FFA members, and Madison, a teacher at Wall and FFA supporter. Grandchildren JC and Cooper were active in the Wall FFA and represented South Dakota at the National FFA Convention in the Ag Issues CDE in 2017. Currently, grandson Hayden and granddaughter Brindley are beginning their FFA journey in Nebraska as a freshman and 8th grader. Please help me in congratulating the Mary and late Myron Williams family for being the 2025 South Dakota FFA Family of the Year. The 2025 South Dakota FFA Family of the Year is the Mary and Myron
I'm Katrina Tone from the Bridgewater Emory chapter.
Hi, my name is Braylon Plucker, and I'm from the Lennox Sunstrom FFA chapter.
And I am Brittany Weger from the Viber Curly FFA chapter.
Bailey and I met this last summer at East River Leadership Retreat, but we really grew close at District Officer Retreat. There, we were partnered up in the same small group, and she showed me to never give up, even when you're afraid. When we went hiking, Bailey was terrified of heights, but she never gave up and stayed with the group. Her fearlessness pushed me to be fearless within my own chapter and continue to try new things and be a better leader every day. Thank you, Bailey.
I first met Bailey when I went to through 4-H, but I really got to know her when I went to West River Leadership Camp, where she helped me to be the best version of myself that I could possibly be. Bailey is kind, caring, and a fantastic leader. Bailey, she always has a positive outlook on everything she does. Thank you for being a great role model and leader.
Growing up, Bailey has always been right by my side. She was right there whether we were working with our show sheep, going to FFA, 4-H, church events, or the farm. She always helped me practice for basketball, but that also meant that I was going to learn her basketball and football cheers. I've always looked up to Bailey, and she's always been there to listen to me and help me through everything, no matter what she's doing. Bailey is the best big sister anyone could ask for.
Please help us in welcoming my friend,
my role model,
and my sister, and your 2024-2025 South Dakota State Treasurer, Bailey Weger, as she gives her retiring address, Your Voice.
What does your voice mean to you? Come back with me to my middle school math class. There are 10 minutes before the bell rings, and I grab my pencil and calculator and begin to work on today's assignment. I get through the first question, easy peasy. Nothing can slow me down. Second question, I am on a roll. Then I get to the third question. Where is this in our notes? We never learn this in class. I am not going to ask the teacher because everybody would think that I was not paying attention in class. So I finish my assignment in the remainder of the 8 minutes and turn in my homework, thinking for a good grade, hoping that I will do well. The next day, as I'm sitting in class, my teacher calls me up to his desk. As I walk, I feel my stomach tying in knots. Did I do wrong? Am I gonna get a bad grade for this? That's when Mr. Richards asks, Bailey, did you understand yesterday's assignment? Yeah, why? Well, by the looks of your paper, you didn't. I sit there stunned, mad at myself for not asking questions. But that's when Mr. Richards takes a deep breath and says, Bailey, I will let you redo the assignment if you ask questions. By Mr. Richards giving me grace, I was able to give myself grace, which gave me the confidence to ask questions. Flash forward to that summer where I am at the South Dakota State Fair showing my miniature Hereford candy. It is a bright, beautiful day, and I am talking with my show heifer just like any other shower would.
Okay, Candy, we are going to be great. You're gonna stand there and look perfect. Even though you are smaller than anybody else, you're gonna do fine. That's when the gate opens, the first class walks out, and my class walks in. We make our way around the show ring, and I set up my heifer, and she is looking amazing. I keep my eye on the judge, and that's when he begins to pull us one by one into our placings. I wait and wait as anticipation builds, and finally, I am selected into second place. Me and my miniature Hereford are in second place. Until the judge starts giving reasons on the other side of the show ring. I just got second to last place. As he makes his way down, giving reasons to all of the heifers in my class, he comes to mine and says, "Now this heifer is very good looking. However, she just does not have the height to compete with the top half of the class. That is why she falls to the bottom half." I walk out of that ring feeling inferior to all those around me. Am I ever going to live up to my goals? Am I ever going to be in the top half of the class? Am I just going to stay at the bottom my whole life? Aside from those thoughts, a family walks up to me and asks, "Is showing miniature Herefords as easy as it seems?" "Yeah. That's why I show miniature Herefords. They're calm, and I love working with them." "Oh, but why do you show in that class? You have a miniature Hereford. They don't." "That's the thing. I have to show in the any other breed class because there's not enough miniature Herefords for a class." That next summer, as I walk up to the board where all the classes are posted, right there in bold letters, "Miniature Hereford class." We finally have a miniature Hereford class. By advocating for what I believe in and what I love, I know that no one can make me feel inferior without my consent. Now flash forward to my sophomore year of basketball season. It is the peak of cheerleading, and I am on my way to school for cheer practice. What are we gonna do? We just had this huge fight with our coach, and I don't even know if we're gonna have cheer practice or we're gonna talk about it. That's when I pull up to the school, walk in the door, and wait for everybody else to show up. 2 minutes goes by, everybody's there, and our coach walks in. "Okay, girls, I know about the elephant in the room, and we are going to address it right here, right now." She proceeds to explain her part of the story, while I am sitting in the back wondering if she is going to hear my point because I am younger and less experienced than her. But then she finishes, and I stand up, thinking that the rest of my cheerleaders will stand up with me and we will all share our points. But as I look back, no one else is behind me. I am alone. But I stand up and explain my point of view, and my coach hears me out. It turns out that it was all just a big misunderstanding. Because I stood up and advocated, even when no one else was behind me, I learned that even if somebody is older than you or more wiser than you, to not let them look down on you because you are young. by speaking up and asking questions while giving yourself grace, to advocating for what you believe in, even when it means going against the grain, or speaking up even when no one else is behind you and the person you're speaking up to is older or more mature than you. You have a voice because your voice has power. Your voice has meaning and your voice matters. South Dakota FFA, step out of your comfort zone and use your voice.
Thank you for being our team mom. You always kept us prepared and organized for every event. Between sarcastic comments, randomly bursting out into song, trying to convince everyone we were twins, and rollerblading around us on the way to lunch, you always knew how to make us laugh. Your caring nature and constant advice helped us get through the toughest situations. And remember, true friends are never apart. Maybe in distance, but never in heart. Love, Haley, Raul, Ethan, and Maya. South Dakota FFA, your 2024-2025 State Treasurer, Bailey Weger.
It's springtime, and the Ford lineup is ready to step into the spotlight. Lights, spring bonus, action. Get great spring bonus deals on your favorite Ford trucks. Then take advantage of the season. From the built Ford Tough F-150 to the 2024 North American Truck of the Year Super Duty, your local Northland Ford dealers are rolling out the red carpet with exclusive deals on America's best-selling trucks. Get behind the wheel of a new Ford today. Now get 2.9% financing for 72 months. Plus, for a limited time, $1,000 spring bonus cash on a new Ford F-150. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Mr. Knutson, thank you for pushing me to reach my full potential even when I didn't see it. From practicing for competitions after school to the countless bus rides to events, you have shown me firsthand what growth looks like. Your willingness to listen to all my life events and always try something new, even though we didn't know how to run the AET, has shown me that change is okay and it must be embraced. Thank you for all the sacrifices you have made in these past 6 years. South Dakota FFA, please help me in thanking my advisor, Mr. Nathan Knutson. For always being a listening ear and never failing to remind me of who I am. Your heart of service and dedication has been an inspiration to me, and one day I hope to be half the woman you are. Thank you for showing me that it is okay to go against the tide and advocate for what I believe in. Dad, your steadfast support and determination have taught me valuable lessons that I will never forget. You have helped me develop my strong passion for agriculture and love for livestock. Thank you for reminding me of my accomplishments and always pushing me to become a better version of myself. Brittany and Bethany, thank you for always being my partners in crime and never being afraid to show off our wacky sides. Both of you will always be my #1 cheerleaders. The countless lessons we have learned together have allowed me to grow into the person I am today. I am truly blessed to call both of you my sisters. South Dakota FFA, it is my honor to introduce to you my parents, Billy and Becky Weger, and present them with their honorary state degrees.
Agricultural education students have never settled this year as FFA members in the South Dakota FFA Association. The District Star Greenhands advanced from the chapter to the district level, where their applications were reviewed, candidates were interviewed, and the stars from each district were selected.
A Greenhand strives to enhance their knowledge and achieve new heights during their time in FFA. The honor of a Greenhand recognizes the dedication and hard work they put forth in their supervised agricultural experiences. The plaques and cash awards for District Greenhands are sponsored as a special project of the South Dakota FFA Foundation by Central Farmers Cooperative. Mr. Vice President, will you please read the names of the Star Greenhands from each district?
District 1, Keaton Zupke, Florence. District 2, Corbin Shoemaker, Howard. Clayton Pankratz, Parker. District 4, Tucker Peterson, McCook Central. District 5, Ray Sanders, Hot Springs. District 6, Riley Knock, Hitchcock Tulare. District 7, Kendall McAravey, Tri-Valley. District 8, Ayla Bauer, Lemon. Congratulations.
Star Partners are the backbone of South Dakota FFA. Their generous support and continued dedication to the South Dakota FFA Association enables our members to move on to lead the agricultural industry, which is essential in strengthening our student-led organization. Star Partners have contributed to the personal growth and career success of FFA members from across the state. Our Star Partners have invested over $225,000 towards FFA this past year. Please join me in welcoming to the stage our Star Partners.
Distinguished Star Partners, Twin City Region Northland Ford dealers. Four-star partners, CHS Foundation, Bayer, Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, and South Dakota Corn Utilization Council. Three-star partner, Agtegra Cooperative, Farm Credit Services of America, and the First National Bank in Sioux Falls. Two-star partners, Bank West, Butler Machinery, First Bank and Trust, Pioneer Corteva, Dakota Bank, Prairie Grain Partners, LLC, C&B Equipment, First Dakota National Bank, RDO Equipment, Wilbur Ellis and Titan International, One-Star Partners, BASF, Cropland by Winfield United, Christensen Farms, Olson Custom Farms, East River Electric, Hanson Associates, LLC, Midwest Veterinary Service, Dakota Grain Connection, City, Riverview LLP, Titan Machinery, Army ROTC, LG Seeds, Leisinger Farms, Beck's Hybrids and Bioflex,
Star Partners, thank you for investing in South Dakota FFA and empowering lives within our organization. Your support encourages us to never settle. Please join me in thanking our Star Partners.
You know, I've been thinking.
Well, that's scary. What have you been thinking about?
Well, I've been thinking about how much fun we've had this year. I mean, from having to navigate floods at East River Camp, to holding our first ever summer district officer training retreat, to all of our adventures on chapter visits. This has been quite the year.
Definitely. Like traveling to National Convention to support South Dakota FFA members who never settle. And even getting to learn about different agriculture industries during business and industry visits.
Yeah, there really has been so many great memories from this year. But soon, 6 new people will get the chance to make new memories of their own.
South Dakota FFA, it's time to meet our 2025-2026 state officer candidates.
Hi, my name is Preston Singray, and I am honored to represent the Arlington FFA chapter.
My name is Daphne White, and I proudly represent the Rapid City Stevens FFA chapter.
I am Avery Zeisler, and I proudly represent the Gregory County FFA chapter.
I'm Wyatt Lesmeister, proudly representing the Belfouche FFA chapter.
Hi, my name is Ireland McCurvey, proudly representing the Tri-Valley FFA chapter.
Hi, my name is Kate Meyer, and I'm representing the Sisseton FFA chapter.
Hello again, I'm Katrina Tone, and I'm proudly representing the Bridgewater Emory FFA chapter.
I'm Josie Nold, and I'm proudly representing the Brookings FFA chapter.
I'm Maddie Von Eye, and I am proudly representing the Kimball FFA chapter.
My name is Laney Andrews, proudly representing the Beersford FFA chapter.
Hi, I'm Skylar Plucker, and I proudly represent the Lennox-Sunstrom FFA chapter.
I'm Tyler Strasser, and I'm also proudly representing the Lennox-Sunstrom FFA chapter.
I'm Modesty Heath, and I'm representing the Woolsey-Wessington FFA chapter.
My name is Connor Johnson, and I proudly represent the D. Smith FFA chapter.
Up next, we will be hearing from a keynote speaker who was sponsored through the South Dakota FFA Foundation by Farm Credit Services of America. Melvin Adams was born in 1971 into a rough neighborhood of Houston, Texas, where he overcame adversity through his passion for basketball. After losing his father at 13, Melvin turned to sports to escape the financial hardship. And despite being only 5'8", relentless dedication led him to a professional basketball career. Today, he lives in Houston with his wife and 2 sons, inspiring others with his journey of perseverance. South Dakota FFA, please join me in welcoming to the stage, Melvin Adams.
What's up? How's everybody doing? Well, listen, I'm really excited to be here. I don't know about you, but when they shot those things off, I thought I was back in the hood. I don't know if y'all got nervous. I was in the back sweating like Mike Tyson in a spelling bee contest, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm really glad to be here. I know a lot of you are probably shocked you're looking for a 6'6" black guy, but you got a small black Smurf, but I'm here. And I want to talk about never settling. Tell you a real quick story. I have 2 boys. My oldest son is 21. When he was 11, he came to me, he's like, Daddy, I want to play football. I said, hopefully not the NFL, because that stands for not for long. I put my 11-year-old son with these 14-year-olds. They weren't on steroids. It was fried chicken, cornbread, and Kool-Aid, you know what I mean? Because I believe if you want to be great, you got to hang around people that are better than you. How many believe that? Yeah. So my youngest son was 8. He wasn't into sports. He was into Legos. Everything is awesome. He was that kid. He gets distracted, so I put him on special teams. Special teams in football is 22 guys trying to knock each other's head off, you know what I mean? Across from Silas was a 6'4", 200-pound 14-year-old. And I told my wife, I said, baby, they're going to kill Silas. They blew the whistle. The guy took off. His lips were so big, it looked like 2 pancakes fighting over syrup. He hit Silas, and all I heard Silas say was, Daddy! I could only see out of one eye. I said, I know, but get off the field. He said, Daddy, I can only see out of one eye. I said, Silas, calm down. I squared his shoulders. I got his helmet. I put it to the front because he was looking through his ear hole the whole time. And what I want you to do is I want you to think big. I grew up with a dream to play professional basketball. My dad was 6'6". My brothers are 6'8", 6'7", 6'2". My mom was 5'3", and my aunts were Ewoks on Star Wars, but I had a dream. I was the shortest on every team I played for, but I was also the cutest. Word up. Had a dream. And whatever you want to do in life, there are going to be obstacles. Number 1, I grew up in poverty. I tell people we were so broke, if you tried to rob us, you'd be practicing. My dad was a cop. My dad would come home and he'd say, Melvin, let's play hide and go seek. I'm like, cool. He said, count to 10. I said, okay. Count to 10 and come look for me. I count to 10. It's been 27 years. I still ain't found that brother. You know what I mean? Like, that's the best hide and go seek player. I'm still looking for him now. And because my dad wasn't in my life, I was always in the principal's office. And I remember the principal said, you know what? You always get in trouble. You know what? We're going to call your daddy. I said, you found him? I had a hard time in relationships. I remember dating a girl in high school with a lazy eye. And every time I look at her, I'd be like, but that didn't even last long because I found out she was seeing somebody on the side. But there are obstacles in my life. And see, if you want to be great, I remember getting a scholarship to a college in California. The gas prices were so high in LA, the Crips and the Bloods was riding together. And I go to this school, and they had won 5 games in 5 years. They were the #1 ranked team in the nation if you read your newspaper upside down. And so it only takes one of you to get what I'm saying. You'll not only change your community, you can literally change the world. I went to the coach, and the media came out, and the media said, what are you going to do? And I said, we're going to win the national championship. Practice started at 2. I went to practice at 1. Practice over at 4. I left at 6. If I wasn't the best in the gym, I would literally beat myself up. That year, we won 28 games. We lost 4, and we won the national championship. You know who got MVP? The short, cute black guy. Appreciate it. Those seniors for 4 years who all they known was losing left out as champions. My junior year came. We got a bunch of freshmen. I knew they were freshmen because they smelled like Huggies, Supreme, and Similac, and they always wanted to watch SpongeBob. But see, you can say whatever you want, but people watch what you do, and they watched me come to practice early. They saw me leave late. They saw me win every sprint. And that year, we were 2 games over 500. We were okay. My senior year, their sophomore year, we won 28 games. We lost 4, and we won the national championship again at a school that had won 5 games in 5 years. Now that's cool, but this is really cool. When I graduated, the sophomores, they became juniors, won 2 national championships after I left. See, what type of legacy will you leave, young people? What will people say about you long after you're gone? When you never settle, you'll always reach your potential. And when I look at you young people, I'll tell you a real quick story. When I look at you young people, there's so much greatness inside of you. I had an opportunity to play with the San Antonio Spurs. My first game with San Antonio Spurs, we played the Chicago Bulls. Everybody knew Michael Jordan was back. He smelled like Ben Gay and mothballs, but he was back. And I'm sitting on the bench, San Antonio Spurs. Michael Jordan is dribbling the ball, got his tongue out like, he threw a look-away pass. I'm like, where is this brother throwing the ball? All of a sudden, Scottie Pippen comes out of nowhere. He grabs the ball, dunks it in, so I jump off the bench like, yeah, way to go, Mike, you the man. But I was playing for the Spurs. So I get in the game, I'm dribbling the ball. David Robinson says to pick. I dribble out to pick, and guess who was guarding me? Michael Jordan. So I said I can do 2 things. I could pass the ball and get scared, like, ah! Or 2, I could take Michael Jordan to the hoop. Because Michael Jordan puts his pants on the same way I do. May take him a little longer, but he does the same thing. I drive to the hoop, he elbows me in the chest, I shoot the shot, ball goes in, I'm fouled, I'm pumped up because I've just hit on the best NBA player. I'm on the free throw line, shoot my free throw. Michael Jordan is on the right side talking about my mama got a mustache. But that didn't make me mad. What made me mad was he was lying. Because my mama got a goatee. But anyway, that started something. That if you have a dream and if you work hard, dreams do come true. I have a couple kids that I'm bringing up on stage. The Rock son, can you come? And then the people in the back, Bailey, can you come? And the young girl in the back. I'm going to do some tricks, Globetrotter tricks. And these tricks, I'm going to teach some life lessons, okay? So we have, it's 2 more people. It's another girl in the back. Lindsay Lohan, is she back there? Okay, my boy, yeah. No, he's right there. Right, yeah, him right there, yeah. Peter Parker, I'm Peter Darker. Okay, cool, let's do this. All right, cool. I love to have fun. Because I believe that if you're passionate about life, when you understand what your why is, you understand why you're here, then life makes sense. And I'm going to teach these young people how to do some tricks. I don't know how it is in South Dakota, but in Texas, my mom always taught me that girls go first in everything. So we had to open up the doors for the girls. We couldn't eat till they ate. Because, you know, girls get mad like, you know what I mean? But if you give them some chocolate, they'll be cool. Like, is that Hershey's? So we're going to get the 2 girls. Lindsay Lohan right here. Lizzo, you're going to come over here, all right? Cool, all right. My boy Peter Parker here, and steroids over here. Okay, cool, all right, now. We're going to do these tricks for not just one person, but 2, 3, and a half people, all right? And I have 2 rules. Rule number 1, you see anything you like, you clap. Rule number 2, you see anything you don't like, you still clap. Cool, now, I was watching all of you girls, and all of you girls are beautiful. Tell me something I don't know. And I know you girls be wearing those eyelashes that look like tarantulas, but you're beautiful inside. So I'm going to teach some tricks. And in these tricks, there are life lessons in these tricks because these tricks are just like life. You'll understand it would all make sense. So you're going to go last because you're awesome. So you're going to come over here. Okay, and your name is?
Greta.
Greta. Okay, Greta, I'm going to do a trick, Greta, and you have to do what I do, and we believe in you. So you're going to get your hands ready. The ball is coming. If it hits you, I'm going to laugh, but I'm going to help you. You know what I mean, Greta? So, Greta, what you going to do? Let's see what you got. Here we go. So run. There you go. Okay, there you go. Then run. Okay, cool. Then go fake the. Okay, that was good. You scared me. Then go off your knee. Like that. To me, though, yeah. Go kick it to me, yeah. Off your knee, yeah. Off your knee, yeah. Off, like, yeah, right. Don't. Oh, my God. Okay, okay, she is definitely from the hood. Can we help me from the back right there? Hold on. Now, can you get that for me in the back? So, real quick, now, Greta was a little Medea. A little thugalicious, but she was a little nervous. She didn't think she could do it. But when you all started clapping, she was like, I'm the bomb.com. It's amazing how words can build you up, words can tear you down. Give it up for my girl, Greta. Good job, Greta. Good job. Now this is
Dawson Lavacek.
Dawson Lavacek. Now Dawson, really trick Dawson, what you're gonna do, hard like Greta. Here we go. There you go. Right. Round the back. There you go. Off your knee. Oh, you the man. Okay. All right. Then round the back. You round your back. There you go. Then off your elbow. Good job. Yes, give it up for my boy now. Now, he was a little nervous. This guy will be successful in whatever he does. He didn't see that trick and go, come on, man, I ain't from the hood. But he saw it. He had a great attitude. His breath smelled like Colgate. You just knew he was going to be successful because he has that confidence and that swag. So give it up for my boy. Good job. That was awesome. Nice. Raul, really the trick, Raul. What you going to do? No, that's kind of hard. We're going to give him an easy trick. No, Raul, what you going to do? You're going to do the trick. You're going to turn towards that way, not now, but when you're about to do your trick. So, Raul, don't fart because we don't want to kill the people in the first stage. Here we go. Okay, here we go. You got it, Raul. You got it, Raul. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, okay. There you go. Good job. Yes! Give it up for my boy, Raul. Yes! Now, Bailey, right? This is Bailey. Okay, Bailey, what I'm going to do, Bailey, is I'm going to spin the ball on your finger. Tight. Okay, all right. Now, Bailey, do you believe that I can spin the ball on your finger?
Yes.
Okay, that was really motivating. Let's ask her again. Do you believe?
Absolutely.
Yes. Now, Bailey, before I do it, there's a couple things wrong with your finger. Got to file it down a little bit. All right, Bailey, here we go. Give it up for my young people. They were awesome. You know, when people read my bio, had an opportunity to play with the Spurs, play with the Globetrotters, been on BET, Comic View, A3O Comedy, Oprah. I've lived the dream. When you read my bio, you go, that's a great success story about a young black kid who grew up in poverty, but who made his dreams become reality. But I believe in order to know where you're going, you got to know where you come from. So let me tell you my story. Let me tell you about my mom. My mom was the type of woman that if I got an 89, she'd cuss me out because I should have got a 90. If I got a 90, she would cuss me out because I should have got a 91. If I got 100, she wouldn't say nothing because that's what I should have got. I played football. I remember scoring 4 touchdowns. My mom said you would have had 5 if you wouldn't have fumbled the ball. So you want to know why I shot 3,000 jump shots every day? You want to really know why I ran 3 miles? Because I thought if I could score more points, if I could make more money, maybe my mother would love me more. See, growing up as a kid, I never heard that from my mom. It was actually 20 years ago was the first time in my life that I ever heard from my own mom that she loved me. My dad was a cop. He was a cop, and he would come home and he would hammer 6 nails in a piece of wood. He would turn the sharp points. He'd beat my mother, he'd beat my brothers, and then he would beat me. And there were many times my dad would make me watch him, make my mom get on her knees on a gravel street, and he would beat her with a water hose. And as a young kid, there was nothing like an FFA that you guys have. There was nothing really exciting about coming to school. And if I could be quite honest with you tonight, I was very suicidal. I wasn't really living. I wasn't really settling. I was actually settling. I wasn't living out my purpose, and I was going to school. But there were 2 people, kind of like Wyatt. But my high school principal kind of reminds me of Wyatt. She was a teacher that didn't just come to school to get a check. She woke up every day on purpose with a purpose, and she would tell me every day that I was awesome. Now, you have to understand culture, because most black kids are not in the hood going, Leroy, you're awesome. But she said it so much, I started to believe it. She said I was amazing. I said, I'm not Spider-Man. She gave me my first birthday party, and I went from making all F's to being on the honor roll, to being the first one to graduate from college in my family. My high school coach, he drove me to one of the richest areas, and again, I grew up around drugs, prostitution, and gangs. That's all I saw. That's all I thought I could become. But this coach drove me to one of the richest areas in Houston, and the houses were amazing. I never saw anything like that. He said, do you know that you can live in a house like that? And I said to myself, if I really listen to this guy, then my children won't have to grow up like I did. They'll grow up in a better neighborhood. They'll go to better schools. They'll talk different. Father, Father, were you poor? Father, did you eat the government cheese? Were you constipated, Father? It literally changed my life. I retired from playing professional sports in 2000, started speaking in public schools all over the United States, and I go to this town called Harlingen, Texas. It was so flat you could see your dog run away for 2 weeks. It was 97% Hispanic, but I didn't feel uncomfortable because everywhere I go, I move in love. And it was K through 7th grade. You know how the parents drop their kids off? Well, I immediately run up to the first door, open the door, a little girl gets out. I go, what's up, Dora the Explorer? Swiper, no swiping. How's Diego? She had more teeth than a dentist. For the first 3 kids who walked into that school, they walked into the school with a smile on their face. Every mom drove away like they were with Allstate because they were in good hands. The security guard that was with me said, hey, you need to go talk to the principal secretary. She's upset because you parked in her spot. And I don't like letting people down. So I walked in, and this lady had the worst attitude I've ever seen. Like, I'm like, why are you here? Why did you come to work? While she's going off, I see another teacher. I'm like, hey, what's up, Charlie's Angels? Is Bosley back there? And she looks at me, and she says, you're a little over the top. Calm down. I said, okay, Satan. So I go to the side, and I waited. Because I realized that loud people want quiet people to talk more, and quiet people want loud people to shut up. And everybody's trying to make you be who they want you to be, but you got to be you, and being you is enough. And so the bell rang. I went to the lady. I said, listen, if you're not doing anything, why don't you come hear me speak to the kids? He goes, if I have time. So I'm speaking to the kids like I'm speaking to you. Immediately after the assembly, there was a 7th grade girl. She was real skinny. She could hula hoop through a Cheerio, hang glide with a Dorito. She was crying. Boogers and snot was everywhere. She hugged me so tight, I got to be honest. I farted. I mean, it was tight. She gave me a note. She says, when you read this note, just know that you changed the note today. And she walked away. I said, okay, Selena Gomez, sorry about Justin Bieber. Keep your head up. So me, the principal, and the secretary was walking through the school. And the principal says, before you fly back to Houston, why don't we go in my office and read the note, Katy Perry, that the girl wrote? And the note said, my dad left me 2 years ago. I wear big clothes because I cut myself. My mom goes out every week and gets drunk, and many of the men she brings back have molested me. So tonight I'm going to take some pills. I'm going to end my life because my life sucks. She said, but when you read the note, know that you changed the note. I looked over to the secretary and I said, that's why I'm over the top. Because if you think I'm all about comedy, you're missing out on who Melvin Adams is. 99.9% of you who came here tonight was expecting the speaker to be boring because they bring in speakers whose butt so tight Moses couldn't part it. There's no joy, no excitement. Okay, kids, 5 keys to success. Kill yourself. You don't even believe that. There's no joy, no excitement, no passion. And we find in this generation there are more mental health and suicide cases in your generation than we have ever seen. And I stopped by to tell you young people that the world is a better place because you young people woke up. If you never settle, you can do great things. I don't care if you're from Cockroach, Texas, Peter Pan, Peanut Butter, Florida, South Dakota, doesn't matter. Big things come in small packages. If you never settle, me and my son, I'm going to tell you that story here in a minute. We're flying and we were going to Sacramento and I was tired. I was tired. I get to the hotel and there was nobody at the front desk. I see the number to the hotel, so I call it. I hear a lady pick it up in the back and I did what my dad did to me. I just hung up. And I know with girls it's all about being beautiful. I get it. But this lady looked like she had a fight with the world and lost. She came around the corner and all I said was, how you doing, Miss Amazing? She was shocked. It's amazing how if you're just nice today, people think you're weird. If you're just nice, people think you're weird. We're so negative now that if you're just nice, people think something's wrong with you. That's crazy to me. How you doing, Miss Amazing? She was shocked. I said, hey, did you get a speeding ticket today? She said, no. I said, you should have because fine is written all over you. She lit up like a Christmas tree. She gave me my key. I'm walking to the hotel, the elevator. She goes, excuse me, sir. She said, I've been divorced for 5 years. I haven't smiled in 5 years. Thank you for making me smile. She said, I have 2 boys. I feel so alone. I feel like nobody sees me. The fact that you noticed me, I was going to work tonight, get this last check for my 2 boys, and I was going to end my life in the morning. She said, thank you for saving my life. See, and I say that to young people to say, it doesn't cost much to be kind. And see, I came home in 5th grade and I saw something that would forever change my life. My mom's back was broke and she was bleeding. I was a mama's boy. And so in 5th grade, I started writing poems to my wife. And I shared this story specifically for you girls. You're beautiful not just on the outside, but you're beautiful on the inside. Stop settling Stop settling for these dudes that you see the signs, you know they're not good, then you get with this guy, then 20 years later, he doesn't spend time with your son, now you're beating yourself up for the decision that you made. I came home and started writing poems to my wife, writing poems to this woman I never met. Poems like, where you at? I miss you. I'm cuter than Wyatt. I mean, there were poems. And I came home after my first year with the Globetrotters. You gotta understand, my wife is so black, she can put her fingerprints on charcoal. You know you black if you can wear yellow lipstick and look like a cheeseburger. You know you black if you can drive a motorcycle and get pulled over for windows too tinted. But my wife is fat, P-H-A-T, pretty, hot, and tempting. And I'm signing autographs at a mall in Houston, and Sonia walked by, and I said, the Lord is my shepherd. He know what I want. And I followed into this Barnes & Noble, and I started talking to her. I said, hey, do you have a boyfriend? She said, no. I said, how long have you had that problem? Don't settle for a kid's meal when you can get a value pack. Don't get a hamburger when you can get a Big Mac. After she slapped me, I gave her my phone number. She was different than any girl I've ever dated. She'd walk into a room and it was dark and there was one light on her. Actually, it was like two because she real black. You couldn't see her, you know what I mean? And I began to realize she was the one. So I retired from playing professional sports. I took her to a beach in Galveston, Texas. I don't know if any of you have ever been there. But that water's so dirty, I used to be white and I swam in there my whole life. That's all I'm saying. I baptized the baby and he died in that water. I'm just saying. Put a white piano on the beach. I got 11 of my best friends, gave them all white tuxedos, gave each of them one white rose. And as I played her song, each guy brought a rose. We took a building a helicopter to a building downtown Houston, had a table set up. She liked Subway sandwich, 6-inch turkey on wheat, everything but bell pepper. It's like a coffee black, like her man, one equal, Truvia. I put the ringlet sandwich, she didn't eat it, but she said yes. So the next day I took her to the movie. Bought 3,000 roses. While we wait for the movie to come on, all these guys start bringing the roses. I said, hey, who gave the roses? Was it Wyatt? Because I know he was checking you out. So I was mad. I walked in front of the movie theater. I grabbed the mic. Now I've spoken in front of 8 million kids. I don't get nervous. But I said, I want to thank my girlfriend, my fiance for saying yes. It's been 23 years, 4 months, 2 days, 16 hours, 12 minutes, 39 seconds. Nobody's counting. My wife was pregnant with our first son. Every day I would speak to her stomach and speak positive words. I would say, my son's going to be a drug dealer. I didn't say that. I said, my son's going to do something great. My oldest son graduated from high school with a 4.8 GPA, number 48 in a class of 900. But my youngest son, who I want to talk to you about real quick, he's going to come out and share just a minute. He's going to share a little bit more tomorrow when we speak. My youngest son, my oldest son had his head down. He was focused. My young son was very curious. He's always, looking. His girlfriend cheated on him, and he started doing drugs. He started smoking, drinking, and becoming very suicidal. To a father who's speaking to millions of kids, and my baby boy has no peace in his life. There are many of you here tonight. You've traveled from afar. Many girls here tonight have been holding on to a lot of secrets that's been stealing your joy and your purpose, and you've been just settling for less than what you were created to do. There are many young men today. See, when you're in a small town, everybody know everybody. People know you broke up before you did. And we don't really talk about anything because if you do, everybody in the community will know it. We wonder why people are walking around so angry and no joy, no excitement. We're just floating through life, and this was my son, Silas. And my son, it was many nights we didn't sleep. See, I didn't come up here today to try to tell you that I'm perfect. I came here to tell you about being real and being honest and never settling. My son, Silas, he's going to come out real quick. He's going to share something with you, and then I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to finish it up. Silas, Silas back there?
Hey, how everybody doing tonight? Good? All right. So my name is Silas. I graduated last year. I'm 19 years old, and I'm going to continue where he left off. So, yeah, so my brother was very focused in school. He played basketball. I played basketball when I was young. And for me, I would see things online when I was really young, 6 and 7, and I got distracted at a young age. And fast forward, when I was 17 years old, I started talking to this girl. I moved high schools. My junior year, I went to a private school, and I met this girl. I fell in love, and we dated for a whole year. She ended up cheating on me. And before that, I had already quit smoking. I quit drinking, and I got right back onto it, but it was like times 5. And I was doing that for almost a whole year. And I'm 6'4". I lost like 100 pounds in about 3 months. It was really bad. And so, I ended up leaving home. And, my dad he was mad at me because he didn't know what was going on. I never vented about how I felt. I never went to my mom or dad or my brother and was like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. I kind of always was the type of person, I hate arguing. I kept it inside. I never told people how I felt, and it affected me. And so I started partying. I started doing even more stuff. And about 6 months ago, my dad reached out to me, and he said, hey, how about you come and start speaking with me? And at that time, I was really deep in. I was like, I don't want to do all that. And so 8 friends last year that I had died of a few gun violence, drug overdose, and car wrecks. 8 of my friends died. I almost died 6 months ago from an overdose, and my life was saved. And so, so then 4 months ago I started speaking. I've been sober for 4 months, haven't done anything. And so, yeah. So what I'll tell y'all is this, and I'll leave y'all, is, I learned that whatever you want to do in life, don't ever let anybody tell you what you can or cannot do. Because you can do anything, you know what I mean? My 4th grade teacher, the janitor came into the class when I was in 4th grade. The janitor came in, and my teacher said, hey, Silas, come up. And she said, this is what Silas is going to be in 10 more years. So I was doubted as a kid because I was failing tests and all of that. But just know that whatever you want to do in life, you can do it. And I seen that teacher about 2 months ago, and she was, crying because that's what she wanted. That's what she was expecting me to do by now. So I'm going to leave y'all with that is whatever you can do it. And I love every single one of y'all. Y'all have a good night.
At my son's middle school, we started a program called Watchdog, not the game that Ruel plays on Xbox. But Watchdog was a program where we had more fathers on campus. And there was a new kid in the school, and I believe that kid is a kid that's here tonight. You'll understand it when I say it. His name was Zach. And Zach was a kid, when everybody would walk in the room, Zach would be the kid kind of walking in the back. If you're tunnel vision, you won't even see it. But if you move in love and you're globally thinking, you see it. And so the principal said, he called me the Black Harry Potter, but I don't know no magic. He said, hey, man, when you're not traveling, we're going to give you your own room, and we're going to give you those kids, and you do what you do. So he gives me the room, and I see Zach walking the hall, and I didn't sit in the room and wait for Zach to come. I met him at the front door. I said, Zach, what's up? What's up, Zach? Before you come in the room, you got to read what it says on the front of the door, and you could tell that Zach read, and he goes, nothing but positive attitudes enter in. Put his head down. I said, well, Zach, you got to give me a smile or something. He goes, and he walked into the back of the room, which is what he always does. And how I start my class, I have a block. This is my cell phone. One of those block, it says, I am destined for greatness. So I'll start off, I'll go, I'm destined for greatness. Then I'll tell my man here, Justin Timberlake, you're destined for greatness. Then I'll tell my girl, destined for greatness. When we got to about the 7th kid, you can see Zach in the back. His head came up. He had this look on his face like, did I just join a cult? What is this? When the block got to Zach, Zach looked at the block. He looked at me. He looked at the block. He looked at me. And Zach asked the questions like many of you may be asking tonight. He said, I am destined for greatness. All the kids started looking back. Before it got all weird, I said, Zach, you're awesome, man. Your mama was a terrorist because you the bomb. This went on September, October, November, and December. When Zach got the block, Zach stood up. He raised the block in the air, and I ducked because I know the signs. And he yelled out, I am destined for greatness. I am destined for greatness. Zach went from being the most unpopular kid to being the most popular kid in school simply because of words. I stopped by from Houston, Texas, driving in the snow where I had a panic attack, driving in towns where they would kill you and nobody would find your body for 2 years. I never heard of some of these towns. I stopped by here to tell you that the world is a better place because you young people are here. But I want to challenge you, never settle. Hurt people, and heal people, heal people. I came to the last point of this message to tell you this. There were 3 things that spoke to my heart when I came here. One of them was, as I travel, a lot of young people don't know that they're loved. I don't know if a lot of you hear that. Some of you had parents that got a divorce and the dad started a whole nother family. He spends more time with those kids than he does with you. It's very hard to come to a program like this and be excited behind a fake smile. But I stopped by today to tell you, I'm sorry that happened, but you're loved. The second thing is, you were put on earth for a reason, not just breathe and push and you're here. No. You're here for a reason and for a purpose. It's even bigger than FFA. And I see the potential in all of you. Some amazing, that's a cool dude. If I had a daughter, I'd want her to marry him. Bailey, oh man, hair smells like Pantene. Unbelievable. It's amazing, young lady. Your purpose. And the second thing is this, and this is the key, and I'll be out of your hair like I'm out of mine. Great job, Whites. That was great. All right. I was playing with the Globetrotters. I'm living my life. I'm like Nacho Libre. My life is cool, really cool. And I found myself wilding out like Nick Cannon. Found myself drinking, messing with chicks. And you ever look in the mirror and you just get sick and tired of what you see? But if you keep doing what you've always been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've always been getting. And so I remember calling my manager who lived in Atlanta, and I said, Victoria, I'm drinking. I mess with these girls. She said, you know what I did today? I said, what? She said, I ate chocolate. She said, 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 2 rights made an airplane. She said, want to know what the key? Do you want to know what the key is? Why do you think you settle for less? Why do you think that you never settle or you always settle? She said, Melvin, you need to forgive your mom. I can remember every negative word my mother said to me from age of 5. Got on the first flight, went to my mom. I'm a parent now. And most parents do not want to hear from you young people what we didn't do right. And it's a little word called pride because we're arrogant. I'm not a perfect parent. Nobody taught me how to be some parent. I had to learn this. And I went to my mom and I said, you never told me you loved me. You never held me. You never told me you was proud of me. My head looked like a milk dud, but the healing began. I went to my dad's grave and I didn't leave until I forgave him. Not forget, forgave. I went to every girl I messed around with and I told them I was sorry. I went to a store that I robbed as a kid. I remember walking to the store, put $200 on the counter. The guy goes, what is that for? I said, when I was 6, 7, 8, I stole blow pops, lemon heads, and gummy bears from this store. He said, it wasn't my store. I said, it doesn't matter. This is where I did the wrong. I want to make it right. And everybody said, oh my God, and he's black. There was a girl named Tina. She was the funkiest girl I'd ever smelled. She was the funkiest girl I'd ever smelled. She would clean your sinus. So me and my buddy got together. We're going to give her a hygiene motivational message. And Tina went off on me. And I lost it. I said, that's why you're ugly. And you stink. And nobody likes you. That was 20 years. I'm thinking, man, when will I get to meet Tina? That was 20 years ago. 2 weeks later, I'm on United Airlines. Guess who's the stewardess? Tina. We get past the surfacey stuff, married, kids, whatever. I said, Tina, when we was in 7th grade, I want to say I'm sorry for those words that I told you. She said, Melvin, that was 20 years ago. I said, no, Tina, but will you forgive me? Young people, I went from searching this thing for likes to getting nothing but love. It's a whole different freedom when you can walk through life not worried about what people think. We spend money we don't have to please people we don't like. Stop worrying about what people think and how people want you to be. Be you, and being you is enough. And I am so honored. I sat and ate with some of you state leaders. I've never met some of the coolest young kids, well respected. When I think about you, and I know may not be here too long, I get excited about our future. When I see young people like you, our world is in a great place because of you young people here today. And if you never heard that, you need to know, never settle, young people. The world needs you. You are loved. You have purpose, but you got to forgive. Listen, enjoy the rest of the week. We'll be speaking tomorrow night. We have shirts in the back that Silas made up called There's Power in Peace. We look forward to seeing you at the table. Thank you so much. Let me speak to you and have a great rest of the weekend. Thank you, woman of greatness.
Mr. Adams and Silas, thank you for inspiring us to always be our authentic selves and reminding us to always strive to achieve greatness. We are truly grateful that you've been here to celebrate the 97th South Dakota FFA State Convention with our members and guests. Please accept this gift on behalf of the South Dakota FFA Association as a token of our appreciation.
Holy moly, would you look at that? There's no more reminders on my phone.
Well, that's a first.
Yeah, I know, but think about how much we've gone through today.
That's true. We did recognize the South Dakota FFA Foundation, South Dakota FFA Family of the Year, and our Star Greenhands.
Plus, don't forget about our star partners and state officer candidates, as well as the retiring address from our state treasurer, Bailey Weger, and the keynote from Melvin Adams.
Exactly. But I do think you're forgetting one reminder.
I am? What's that?
You're forgetting about the second session of the 97th South Dakota FFA State Convention tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Oh yeah, how could I forget? Hey Siri, remind me tomorrow to attend session 2 of the 97th South Dakota FFA State Convention at 4 p.m.
Mr. Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
I have a few announcements, Madam President. First, the delegate session will begin tomorrow at 2 p.m. Additionally, session 2 of the 97th South Dakota FFA State Convention will begin at 4 p.m. here. Also, chapters are not allowed to reserve seats for sessions. If there is any tape or any signage, it will be removed.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this session? We are about to adjourn the first session of the 97th South Dakota FFA State Convention. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now declare this session adjourned.